past months, Adams had done as much as anyone to bring the issue of independence to a head. As he rose in reply to Dickinson on July 1st, a spectacular summer storm broke. With the debates inside the State House wreathed in secrecy, no record of Adams's words would be preserved for posterity, but those who witnessed his speech considered it to be the finest of his life. Adams argued with resolve and with touches of brilliance. He made the case for courage. A tense vote on independence followed the next day. The issue was decided. Attention then transferred to the wording of the Declaration. It was nearly a month since June 11th, when Jefferson had been appointed to a body, later solemnized in history as the Committee of Five, charged with preparing the document. The as-yet unwritten Declaration's chief purpose was the setting out of the colonies' rationale for separating with Britain, should that be their decision. Still something of a stripling among the other delegates, at 33, Jefferson had hitherto appeared as a brooding, silent, relatively untested member of Congress. But as a Virginian, he had the advantage of being a representative of the most populous and influential colony, and ever since his pamphlet, A Summary View of the Rights of British America, 1774, he had been marked out for his perceptive mind and lucent, supple prose. After his appointment to the committee, Jefferson was delegated, seemingly by Adams, the task of preparing an initial draft. This was no easy assignment. So much had been said during the past decade, so many claims and counterclaims. Jefferson's challenge was to marshal all the years of collected experience into a single text, one that would function both as a legal indictment that clarified the crimes of the past and as a piece of philosophy that pointed the way to a beckoning future. To achieve this, Jefferson would need to find a persuasive mode of expression, but at the same time, he had to take care not to overextend himself. He could not stray beyond the ideas that had already been expressed in Congress. Jefferson met this challenge in sparkling style. From its opening sentence, "When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for a people to advance from that subordination in which they have hitherto remained," his words flowed with what the historian Carl Lotist Becker has termed that felicitous, haunting cadence which is the peculiar quality of Jefferson's best writing. When Adams first read the draft, he found himself delighted with its high tone and the flights of oratory with which it abounded. Some parts of the preamble were then tightened or fortified by Adams and Benjamin Franklin, who were also on the Committee of Five. Together they also scrutinized Jefferson's list of 24 distinct charges against King George III, before the draft was submitted for consideration. Then Jefferson's agonies truly began. Words, phrases, entire paragraphs were picked over, quibbled at, or struck out as Congress sought to find a balance that was palatable to all. By the morning of July 4th, with about a quarter of his initial draft deleted, Jefferson's miseries were at an end. Perhaps the tall, rangy Virginian enjoyed a morning stroll to the State House, along Philadelphia's clean, cobbled, regular streets. Or perhaps, like the gentleman that he was, he rode his horse. We do not know. We can only be sure that, at about breakfast time, Abraham Clark, a delegate from New Jersey, was confiding in a letter home that a declaration, "I expect, will this day pass Congress. It is nearly gone through, after which it will be proclaimed with all the state and solemnity circumstances will admit. It is gone so far that we must now be a free, independent state or a conquered country." Several items of business lay before Congress that morning. Adopting the amended text of the Declaration was second on the list. So it was that in mid-morning a fair, handwritten copy of the text was produced. It was presumably a single sheet of standard Crown paper, 15 by 20 inches, but one that, as Jefferson with his tidy, quantifying mind might have calculated, would reduce the size of the British Empire by around 400,000 square miles. This crucial document in the history of the United States is now missing, presumed destroyed. But we can just about catch sight of it in our mind's eye, the words flowing along in Jefferson's suave, schoolmasterly hand. Much of the emotive language on slavery,